Yeah, the bell.
I hear it. That can only mean one thing. It is time to be saved by the bell with our ESPN fantasy analyst, Stefania Bell. How you doing today?
I'm good. Football is here.
Yeah,
it's like Christmas for me.
It is. Yeah. It's like Christmas. Week 1 is upon us. Of course, the Twitter sphere has lots of questions for you. So let's get to the first one, Stefania. Okay, tonight, America's team will take on the Super Bowl champs. And Gary wants to know, what's up with my WR2 Godwin?
Gary, Godwin's going to play. So here's the good news first. Godwin's going to play. Look, he was listed as a limited participant on Tuesday with a quad issue, but by Wednesday listed as full. Only an estimation. They didn't go through a full practice, but off the pregame injury report, that's what matters heading into tonight's game. I love Chris Godwin this year. I think he could be the number one receiver on the Bucs.
Wow. Let's go to your bread and butter right now, running back injuries. We got a question from Max. This is what he's saying. Austin Ekeler's hamstring injury. Should he be benched week 1, or is this going to continue the whole season?
Max is asking a question a lot of people have this morning because yesterday Austin Ekeler was not practicing, was spotted on the side working out with the athletic training staff, was listed as a non-participant in practice on the Chargers official injury report. And so everyone's nervous, and I get it. He missed 6 games last year because of a hamstring injury. But number 1, players who don't practice on a Wednesday, almost half of them are full participants on Friday. Number 2, we don't know that this is an injury.
Okay.
You know, they have to list a body part on the injury report, so they put hamstring. But maybe he was just feeling a little tight, a little stiff, and they said, you know what, let's be cautious. So the word injury, we don't really have any evidence there's an injury per se as of today. So watch the practice reports. But here's the key thing. Austin Ekeler posted a tweet yesterday, and if you looked at the timestamp, this tweet right here was posted right before practice, right before the injury report came out. And he said, never been more ready and excited. You know why it matters? We don't always believe players, but Austin Ekeler plays fantasy football. He knows what he's doing. He's giving a signal to the people. Believe me, Austin Ekeler, a big supporter of fantasy football, very involved in it, has talked about it. And this is what you love to see if you're a fantasy football player, is Austin Ekeler, without saying it, says
Or is he psyching out the other people in his fantasy league?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. But I'm going to go with
I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to put that out there. I'm not putting that out there.
Listen, we got 2 more days, so let's not panic, people. I would say let's watch what happens Thursday, Friday, but I think he's going to be good to go.
Okay, well, there's some concern among some other running backs. Now, Joel wants to know, is DeAndre Swift worth starting as my RB2 this week? Because the only other option on my roster for that spot is James Conner. He also says, thank you in advance.
Yeah, so that's really what that means is you better get this right.
Yes.
I do believe DeAndre Swift, if you have him as your RB2, he's worth starting. He is ranked as an RB2. His ADP is like running back 20. Most of those running backs are in timeshare, and one of the concerns is how much work will Jamal Williams get? And part of the reason for the concern about how much work Jamal Williams will get is because DeAndre Swift has been dealing with a groin injury that had him missing most of the preseason. Dan Campbell made us a little nervous, their head coach, a couple weeks ago by saying he didn't know if his conditioning, if he'd be in game shape. I think his words were, we don't know how much we'll get out of him. So that makes you think, how much volume of work will he actually see in the first game? I don't know, but when he's out there, he's dangerous. And you knew it was going to be a timeshare anyway. He was a full participant in practice listed this week, and he's been out there getting ready. So I don't know that week 1 we get the full complement of what DeAndre Swift can be, but I expect him to be out there. And look, I think that those words were a nudge. And I think you're going to see DeAndre Swift out there pushing to prove that he belongs out there more.
Okay, well, that's good news, Stefania. As always, thank you. And, of course, we look forward to seeing you more and more as the season gets underway.